Hi, welcome back to Greenleaf Family Farms. Today we're going to make some brown butter oatmeal cream pies. First we're going to start off with our brown butter. I browned this already and it's cooled off a lot. There's the inside of it. I did add some espresso powder to this butter also, so that way I could get that melted in there. It's going to be a half a teaspoon of espresso powder with 1 cup of butter that I've already pre-browned. So we're going to get that incorporated with our sugars. So we've got some brown sugar and white sugar in here. I've got a third of a cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar in here. We're going to mix that in with the butter. We're going to get that nice and fluffy, and then we're going to add in our next ingredients. The house smells so good. It smells like buttery, nutty goodness, because when you brown butter it gets like a nutty flavor. So good. My butter was still a little bit liquefied. It hadn't like softened yet, so it might take a little bit longer for me to mix this together. I'm going to scrape the sides once. And then we're going to add our eggs. So our eggs, we're going to do 2 whole eggs and then an egg yolk. And we'll do them one at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. 2 whole eggs and an egg yolk. We're going to add in our vanilla, and it should be a tablespoon of vanilla. And then we're just going to give that a quick mix. And then we'll add the next ingredients, which is going to be the flour. We have cinnamon and nutmeg in here, and it's going to go inside. So the cinnamon and the nutmeg, we have 1 teaspoon of each, and then the flour, we have 1.5 cups. I'm looking at my recipe book. We're going to go ahead and incorporate that into our butter now. We're going to get that mixed in. I've already got my scoop out and ready. We're using the little scoop today because it's going to be a sandwich. So instead of using our big scoops like we normally do, it'll be a small one. I'm going to scrape down the bowl. Scrape the bowl, and I'm going to go ahead and get it incorporated again, and then I'll add my next ingredients. So my next ingredients is going to be the 3 cups of oats, and they're going to go right in here. That is what our dough looks like. My little helper's not in here, so she's not going to lick the thing, the beater. This is what our dough looks like right now. I am going to go ahead and refrigerate this. Typically with this, with like a sandwich cookie, you want to refrigerate it 30 to 60 minutes. I think I'm going to probably only do it for about 15 minutes because I want to get these in the oven. And we've got other things that we're planning on doing today. But I'm going to go ahead and chill these and I'll be right back. I let my dough cool some. I didn't wait the full 30 minutes to an hour because I just couldn't wait. I'm getting them scooped out on the cookie tray. Like I said, it's the small scoop this time because we're doing them as sandwiches. So I've got them scooped out on this tray here, and I did push them down slightly. I want them to be uniform sizes because we're making a cookie out of them. So I'm gonna continue scooping them out with my little scoop and getting them in the oven at 350 for 9 to 11 minutes. I'm gonna do 9 minutes and then check them at that point, and then we'll be right back. Our cookies are out of the oven and they're cold, so this is what the cookie looks like now. So I'm going to go ahead and get our filling made now. So our filling is going to be the butter, some powdered sugar, and then we're gonna add marshmallow fluff to it. So I've got my butter already in my mixer, and my butter that I have in there right now is gonna be 3/4 cup, so 1.5 sticks of butter. I'm gonna whisk that together real quickly. Into my butter, I'm gonna add my powdered sugar, and it's gonna be 2 whole cups of powdered sugar that I'll add. I want to get the butter nice and fluffy first though. Alright, this is what our butter looks like. It's really white and kind of fluffy in the bottom of there. And now we're going to add in our powdered sugar. And again, we're going to add 2 cups of powdered sugar. And I'm going to add it really slowly because it will puff up. So I've got 1 cup. I'm going to add that into my mixer. And then our 2nd cup. I'm going to add that into our mixer. I'm going to leave the powdered sugar out just in case I need it after we go to add our other ingredients. So this is what it's looking like now. I'm going to go ahead and scrape the sides down just to make sure that we're getting it fully incorporated. I whipped it up a little bit more after I mixed it again. And now if you take a look at it, it's actually really white in color compared to what it was looking like before with the butter being yellow. So I think it's ready for our next ingredient, which is going to be 1 whole container of 13-ounce container of Jet Puff marshmallow cream. So we're going to get the marshmallow cream in here. Should have opened the jar ahead of time, huh? So I'm going to get this right in here. And then I'm going to get that mixed up. So now we're gonna mix it thoroughly. And then after we're done with that, we're gonna add our next two ingredients to our filling. We've got this incorporated for the most part. This is what it's looking like right now. It is a little on the thin side. So I think I am gonna add a little bit more powdered sugar to it before I add in the vanilla. Actually, I think I'll just add the vanilla now so I can put it away. So I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of vanilla, so I don't want to add too much liquid to it. We wanna make sure that it stays thick. And then I'm gonna add about a quarter of a cup more of powdered sugar into it right now as well. I added a little bit more of the powdered sugar, and this is what it's looking like now. And I'm just gonna add in a little bit of heavy cream to give it that creamier texture. And the heavy cream, you could put as much or as little as you want to, depending on how thick or thin you want it. So I'm only gonna add 1 tablespoon, up to about 2 tablespoons, but I'll probably only add the 1 tablespoon. And then we're just gonna add a pinch of salt for that extra flavor in there. So my heavy cream. And then I'll get a pinch of salt next. A little bit of salt right in there. We use pink salt for everything that we do. All right. Now it looks like we are all set. This is what that cream is looking like right now, the inside. I'm gonna let this cool for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna put them, sandwich them in the cookies. I went ahead and chilled our cream filling a little bit, just to stiffen it up because it's a little warm in the house. And we have somebody here that's ready to taste test it, so we're gonna put one together real quickly for them to taste test. Anybody want to take a wild guess on who it's going to be that's going to come and taste test them? Come on, time to taste test.
Time to taste test.
Be careful because the cream's going to fall out. And there's our taste tester, little Miss Harper. What do you think?
Good.
I'm also going to taste test one. It's warm in the house right now because I was baking and it's a hot day. So later on, when it's not quite so hot, they won't be making such a big mess. They're so good. We hope you give our recipe a try. Thank you. Enjoy your day.
If I had to say 1 to 10, I would probably say, I would say like 8.5 or something like that.
And I think I would say a 15. So good. All right. Enjoy. Thank you for watching our video.